Recording in progress.
Meeting to order. May the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. The first order of business this evening is we have recognition to do with our retiring town historian, Claire Ann Van Pass. We'd like to recognize her. We have her certificate and.
Do you want to pass the resolution now, which the certificate is? So I'll read the resolution out. A resolution of heartfelt appreciation honoring Clara Van Tassel. Whereas Clara Van Tassel started her position as the town of Ankrum historian on January 3rd, 1995, and served the citizens of Ankrum for 28 years. And whereas Clara has demonstrated and supported the residents of the town of Ankrum by preserving historical and cultural resources of the town of Ankrum. And whereas the town of Ankrum historian, Clara was an energetic steward of the town's rich history and artifacts. And whereas Clara fostered positive relationships with historians from towns throughout Columbia County. And whereas Clara worked with the Columbia County Historical Society to continue to shine a light on the extensive history of this beautiful segment of New York, now therefore be it resolved that the town board and the residents of the town of Ankrum express their appreciation to Clara Van Tassel for her hard work, dedication, and enthusiasm, and wishes Clara all the best in her well-deserved retirement from the position of town of Ankrum historian.
Did you do all that, Claire?
I don't know what I could have done. I just gotta say a couple words. You know, some things stay the same. One of the things is the intersection down in the center of town. That's always, I mean, all the time I was historian, they were always working on it. It's never gonna happen, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a pessimist, but. And then, some things are different, and mostly the farms. You know, we don't have the farms we used to have. And so that's a big difference in our area. And you know what? Like 70 years ago, I used to babysit for some boys. One of them happened to be Jim. Never did think he was going to be supervisor. My baby shower, I never saw him. I don't know whether it was so bad that his mother always put him to bed before he got there. But anyway, that's all I have to say.
73 years old, and she's still picking on.
Right.
It made me sad for me
Well,
too.
that's all right. And I called her the other day and I didn't know whether I had the town super or highway superintendent or the supervisor.
You need a motion.
And he didn't either.
I make the motion with that resolution.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
No.
I'll sit with you, Claire.
Oh, good.
So this is the certificate,
Oh,
the
thank you.
resolution that
Uh-huh.
Monica just read,
Uh-huh.
and the certificate of appreciation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Clara.
Yeah.
Jim even drove over to the flower store. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God. Beautiful, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's taking over to? Robin. Robin Nassa. I thought, yeah, and I think.
Yes, Katie, yes.
And Katie Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
So, let's see. I don't wanna tell anybody about anybody's age, but I don't know, what do you got, about 25 more years to go, Rob?
Be quiet. You're gonna learn flower read.
Okay, we'll move on. Does anyone have a reason they need to recuse themselves? Need a motion to, accept the, minutes of the January meeting. Motion made and seconded to accept the reading of, January's minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Supervisors report. You'll notice I threw a lot of papers at you tonight. I mean, keeping track of, money coming in, money going out. So financially, we're in very good shape. Our January revenue was actually 115,183.77. The biggest part of that being we finally received the fourth quarter sales tax for 109,000 some dollars. Last night I was at the full board meeting of the county, and as of this point in February, compared to last year, sales tax are down a little bit, so hopefully it's just because we're in February in the middle of the winter and nobody's doing a lot of shopping right now, so hopefully that comes up. As far as T-bills, I gave you the paper on the T-bills. So we have, we have one coming up next week for 300,000. Then March we have 250, April 250, and May 300. Another one in May for 200 and June 300. They're all come due those months. And year to date, the T-bill interest that we have made is $23,038. So we're doing very well with T-bills. And Steve and I are sitting down tomorrow with the accountant, and we have quite a bit of money in the bank right now that we need to invest in our T-bills. So that's where we stand on the T-bills. As far as my report, still working with, I'm trying to get together with Eddie and JL to work on some changes that they would like us to make in with the fees that we charge. Hopefully we can get that done before the March meeting. We seem to have had a little bit of an issue, nothing disturbing about it, but a little bit of an issue with escrow. So actually this, it was just yesterday. I went to the bank and opened another account, which is strictly an escrow account. Because as it is, right now, without the escrow account, we have escrow money, but we're not keeping track of it very well. So we're trying to get a handle on that, and we will.
That's good. There's been some complaints about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get it fixed. And then we have reached out to our town attorneys that we work with to update our contracts with them. We've already gotten back from Tingley. And Elaine had emailed me, and she's gonna get me hers. And who's the other one? Lyons. John Lyons. I haven't heard from him yet.
And then
So.
as well, Nan,
And
sent
Nan.
one to, DPL. the engineers. Just to kind of, the thought was just to kind of see where we stand contractually with them. And starting out a new administration, just see.
Then we add another.
You did Crawford and Sons, but I don't have contact information.
Yeah, I don't, probably hadn't for.
Yeah, and JL's been out this week, so I've been able to talk to her. So maybe this weekend when she's in, I can get some, because I think that the planning and zoning was.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're contracted with them.
Not
I
yet.
don't think we've used them.
I think they want to.
But just to kind of put them across the table and just there. Because the attorney's fees are just. Are they required to give us, each their contracts they have with other fees? No, we're just getting contracts that they have. For, you know, just asking with other fees. With other,
What was that?
no, they're not, but, some of them, like. Who was the one that sent it yesterday? Tim Lane. Sent us what's basically a boilerplate contract that they have as standard. That's what. Basically what their boilerplate one is.
And just has basic fees.
Right.
Okay.
And they because I don't know, I think we're contracted, but I don't know if we have signed contracts because we work on a per diem basis. It's not like we even have an attorney for the town. We have one attorney that took care of everything. They're pigeonholed in their different little areas of the coverage, so.
Well, this group didn't come about really until we did the reassessment.
Yes,
Annually in that group, so that's what that's about. And since we don't have a reassessment every year, we're not probably gonna use those guys.
it's more, I think, John Lyons, Nana, Elena. They're the ones that we pay a lot of money.
We will have that all worked out for the next meeting and have their contract. Another thing I need to bring up. I got an email from Carol Paulsetti. And she wants to know, she's the acting chair of the URC.
Right.
She wants to know if we have to approve that to make it legal.
We need to appoint her tonight.
Okay,
Yeah, I was gonna do that and. My report.
okay, we'll wait to report.
Yeah, in the committee met and we all decided,
Okay,
and she decided she would be the official chair. Oh, we have to do it.
we'll wait to report. That's pretty much for me on the county level, not a lot going on. I think, well, they just settled the contract with the sheriff's deputies. The sheriff's deputies got a pretty good increase. One of the reasons why is we keep losing deputies or going to the troopers because people start out at like $90,000 a year. And, you know, we were paying, I think it was like 60 something. So they got a pretty good boost. I mean, not up to $90,000. So that was settled. The biggest controversy on the county level that I see is the purchasing of 11 Warren Street. People in the city aren't very happy about that. And I don't think it's going to change. I think the county is going to go on with their plans for that building. So,
People are fighting, right?
yeah, that's about it on the county level. So, board member comments. Dave.
Okay, well, myself and as a town board member, as well as fire chief and my assistant, Devin Ruger and Jim, we all attended a hazard mitigation planning session out of the training center in the county, basically geared towards natural disasters and different things in the county. we're working with them for plans, and what resources we have and, getting things coordinated through the county. So that is going on, we're gonna receive more information and have one back to you on that. Other than that, I was, there were a couple different articles this month that I kind of thought, put an increment in our town board, and town board meetings in kind of a bad light. And, I didn't think that, the reporters did us, any justice. I do not believe, after reading the articles, I don't think anybody has ever felt, that we were in any jeopardy here at a town board meeting. I really, thought that was kind of ridiculous in that, article. And I would like to believe that we're here. I mean, we've got different opinions, we've got different ideas, but I don't think that's the case. And I think we can easily go about doing things for the town, even though we disagree on things and don't have the same opinions. We've got to work through this. Well, I said it last month. This town is too evenly divided. We've got to think about doing things for everyone and taking care of the whole town, not just the people that supported us. We've got to take care of everybody. And I hope we can see our way clear to doing that. And that's about what I've got to say, Rick.
Can I just make a comment about what David just said? We spoke about this earlier in the month. There was a misstatement in the article, and I called the editor and let her know that her statement, I think you're discussing, you're talking about having the sheriff here, is that right? Yeah, the sheriff was invited, and we made this statement last month when the sheriff and deputies were here. They were invited at the suggestion of our attorney, so that they could answer any questions that the town might have, and the attendees might have. They were not here as a means of protection. That was totally misstated, and I did call her and let her know that she got that completely wrong.
And I didn't see any retraction about that or anything, did you? And I also talked to the attorney this month, and I asked her about it. I said, listen, I said, did you advise that the attorney should come in for protection for anybody? I said, because that's what it states in the article. And the attorney was kind of put off that she was quoted in the article, that her name was mentioned, and things like that came about. So, not, I think we need to dial things back and operate as a board and work together.
Yeah, she got that wrong. They didn't know.
I understand, but there was nobody ever goes about and says she was wrong. We just let that information go. I know, but I'm pointing it out for everybody to see,
Yeah, good.
is what I'm.
Everybody should know that was a mistake.
This reporter contacted me too, and wanted me to discuss it with her, and I told her anything I had to say, I said at the meeting. And I said to her, I really don't want to give you an interview because you don't quote people accurately. And she said, well, what do you mean? So I gave her some things that she didn't, and she goes, oh, maybe that's why people aren't calling me back. Well, is there any way we can do something about this woman? Because obviously it doesn't phase her, because then the article came out after that. So she's obviously doing it she's a freelancer, so she's looking to get attention.
And she put in the article about the people not calling her back, but
Well,
maybe
they
you know the reason we didn't.
couldn't understand why.
So trying to get a balance of all opinions, and that was why she was. Yeah, but
I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is I wouldn't trust this woman to
yeah.
quote it accurately.
For those of you who aren't familiar, I didn't see the article that was in the New Times Herald. That was the publication.
But no one ever said that. She must go.
Could there be something done where it comes from the town board stating that this was done? I mean, because it was kind of malicious, to be honest with you. I mean, it put everyone in the audience in a bad light, and I thought that was very unfair.
Yeah, but
So is there something that the board can do as a board? That's what I'm saying, just
Yeah.
something that. Because it really put everyone in a bad light.
something that they can put in the arrow.
Right,
Saying,
right, exactly.
yeah, I'll be happy to draft something. Okay.
Personally, I think it should be a letter to someone else rather than them. I don't think we should trust them.
Yeah, so it's a retraction, it's a retraction.
It's not a retraction, it's a letter to the editor. They have to put a retraction.
All right, you can work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything else?
I'm fine.
David's done. You're up.
Yeah, just two, it's just, on two topics, as you know, but I'm sorry you don't feel that anything can be done about the intersection, but I'm putting my all into it and hopefully.
I don't think lots of people have put their all in, I know it's just a hard situation.
It's a very hard situation, but we're trying, and we've got, the county highway department working with us now, we've got support from Dee Barrett's office and also Michelle Nucci's office, and we're determined to get something done, so. Things are moving along slowly.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's moving out in my life. Yeah, and on the Rapid Care Center, I'm pleased to say that the hospital, their outreach has proved very successful and money is coming in. And at this point, all I can say is that they intend to open, or they plan to open this quarter. So stay tuned to that for that as well. And thank you to everybody who's been contributing. It helps. Great, Dr. Robin. Yeah.
Bonnie,
Okay, I have a few things. First, I just want to talk about the affordable housing fair we had at the Rosine Library on the 27th of January, which was a fantastic event. We had great success. We had a lot of people there. We had the storyboards that we had taken from Millerton Forum Fair that they had. So it was basically the centerpiece was pictures on the boards of all the different types of housing that could be built, like cluster housing, tiny homes, single family homes of all sorts, rehab homes. And it gave people a nice visual of what, what affordable housing can look like, and it can be really nice. We had a ton of people there, Habitat for Humanity was there to share their new format. They have a whole new concept that they're working with. Rockco, which is a nonprofit affordable housing developer that works primarily with rentals, and they do a lot of rehabbing of buildings. They're actually they have looked at the high school and built things, but and they're still kind of considering. It's just going to take a lot. We had Chris Brown from the county, he's head of the county task force, and he's incredible fond of knowledge about housing in all ways, and he's really heading up the county task force, and there's a lot of momentum going on as far as what might happen. And Solstice was there, the Climate Smart Task Force was there. Amy Allen, who's on the committee, works for a mortgage company, and she had a lot of information about all kinds of funding and mortgage programs that a lot of people don't even know about. I didn't know about half of them. For first-time home buyers, real housing, rural housing. And Dave, who is my co-chair, he's a real estate guy, so there was a lot of information about just real estate at the moment. But in the end, there was a lot of people came. We proved a lot of information. There was a lot of excitement. There was donuts. And Kelly, maybe you can talk about the environment, the green part.
Oh, yeah, so, we actually had quite a bit of interest, there were 4 town representatives, so there was Gallatin came from, the comic, and one of the representatives from Colgate also came. And we all work on various projects, and one of the nice things is we never are all in the same room at the same time, so we could meet and talk to each other and see what's going on in different communities, like Gallatin's doing like an EV vehicle program, so if someone buys an EV car in Gallatin, Gallatin gets like points for it, and it can be put towards, you know, funding for grants if they want to go and install like things more energy efficient. But it was actually really good, and we had a lot of interest of just different people coming by and seeing what we're doing. And that's about it for us.
There was a guy who built tiny homes who was there, who was, got all sorts of ideas, but another guy who was building with some sort of Swedish concrete or something, I don't know that, you know, but anyway, it was really terrific, and we got a great turnout, and hopefully, I really felt like maybe with all of this collective energy in one room, and people were able to, you know, have conversations with each other about what's going on, that someday we'll get something to happen. But, you know, there's a lot of interest, and everybody understands now that there's a real problem. It's complicated, but what people do. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, in our budget this year, we have budgeted $5,000 for some additional training. And the CRB had put out a proposal last year for that training. And they worked really hard with, came up with one particular company that has agreed to do that. And you can kind of pick and choose what kind of training it wants to be. It's not necessarily rapid training. I think what we should focus on is leadership training. It's one of the things that our attorney recommended in the report back in 2022. And I think, you know, all of us here are leaders in the town. We have great examples. David's a great example of the fire chief who's been in leadership position for a long time, but we don't really get to sit in one room and talk about it and come up with situations that we can all learn from each other and deal with situations that might come up. So I think that's what we're going to try to focus on. And the CRB is going to try to come up with some dates, and it'd probably be like a one session, 2 hours. And we'll try to put together a list of primarily board chairs and committee chairs and anybody else who would want to do it. And it would just be a chance to get together and learn some new techniques and talk about, our town's a lot more diverse now. And there's a lot of things that we need to be aware of and situations that might come up. And so I think what we'll do is come up with that list, and then we'll send out some information to the chairs, board chairs and committees, and see if we can come up with a date.
Is there a limit on the number of people in that?
I think it's so we'd be lucky to have that.
This is not mandatory. Right?
No, but it's federal.
Government, yeah,
And
and we have other people coming as well, they.
absolutely, absolutely, anybody who wants to. I think it's it's an opportunity for us to budget it for it. We might as well do it, and we can sort of pick and choose what we want it to be. So, I think we'll be hearing about that shortly. But and the other thing that came up this month was something I wanted to bring up again. At the December meeting, when the sheriff was here, he left behind some information that was supposed to go out to parents to help them talk to their children about respect and diversity and bullying and just how to talk to people and who have different opinions than you. And it actually came out of government budgets, and it's just a 2-page public service announcement, and I would like to have it sent out to the town, just because it's here in the town hall, but not many parents are going to see it.
What do you mean, acronym?
Yeah. So I think it would be helpful, and anything that we can do to get along with each other. And bring sides together and illuminate the town would be helpful. And I think it was directed for children, so for parents with children, so that's. People just want to reach, I don't know where else. I think that's.
Is there a newer version of it? One of the very first lines in it says, as you get together for Thanksgiving, sitting around Thanksgiving tea. Yeah, so.
Oh.
Very, like, first.
I'll see that I.
Maybe there's an updated
There might be,
version of it.
on the governor's website. There might be one. I will check that out. I was just gonna say. Tell Steve, that we've been talking about pavilion. And I don't know if you're aware that the library is researching a pavilion right now.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and they have some money to build one. Did you want, maybe contact them and see, just to compare notes,
Okay,
because they're doing all the research.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
great.
Because I wanted to try to get going on a pavilion maybe.
We're at the very preliminary stages.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I'm not only going to many, but they are just starting to actually. Yeah. For that.
I don't know. If you've gotten it.
I can give you an update when it's time, right?
Okay,
I didn't think about it before, Bonnie. I had one person ask me this morning, the town gave the housing task force, $35,000 last year.
Mhm.
Do we have any accounting for that, where it is, and is it in something making interest? What it has it spent, what's it being done?
the general fund, we haven't used it yet. And,
It's in the general fund, okay, that's, I didn't have the answer for it, I didn't know.
yeah,
what it
just
was.
tonight, we're gonna make it, it's online, so. Because we just use like.
There was no line, at least in the budget for it. I think it was just put into.
Yeah, no, I just, I'm working it, and,
So I think the bill I have to pay, I didn't know where to take it out of, so on my calling the bookkeeper and asking him. He said we needed to make a line. So we chose under the building department line numbers. So there's a present. Just to move some over, not, I think the budget adjustment isn't to move the whole 30. It's just to move part of it from that. And then ask if you need it, and then we will
Right.
do that.
The zoning revisions committee, you was the chair and he was happily retired. And we did a poll amongst the committee and Carol Cochetti has agreed to be that chair, so I would make a motion to appoint Carol Cochetti as chair of the zoning revisions committee. A second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Carol.
Yes. Is she still away? Well,
I think
she
so.
emailed me, I'll email her back. Someplace. She's in England. She's in Michigan. Well, she's in Egypt on vacation, she should be enjoying herself, not worrying, oh, where's she going to CRC?
Jim, can I ask a question?
Yes,
Or wait, later?
no, go ahead.
Helen, you mentioned the, committee, is there a certain number of people in that committee on this building for down to the ball field, or I get some emails, but.
Yeah, I do not know that we actually have a committee technically formed.
Most
yet.
Steve gets emails, I get some emails.
Like interested parties that showed up.
Interested parties, I mean, I wonder if maybe.
I kind of thought Steve was the chairman.
Originally, I thought he put two.
Yeah, pretty sad with the rules, Jeremy.
My question is, this started out as a simple building, and my undertaking was it was gonna be enclosed for Ruth and me. And now it seems like it's turned into something, there's no way it's gonna happen for these kids by, what, in June, I think it started.
July.
I mean, it's a whole barn. And then I heard the culvert might be a big issue. If they wanted to put it over by the ball field. It's not a big issue changing that culvert. I have a machine that sits there for the winter time, right down the road with the jackhammer. It doesn't matter frost in there, I'll know it. It'll be nice for these kids to use. Jim wouldn't mind hauling some gravel up there, put over it. I have the grade laser. We do this stuff all the time. But I don't know if that was, I heard that, well, Steve said he didn't think that was a consideration why it was put where it was. This is just my thoughts, and I'm not picking the location, but I mentioned putting it on a ball court. Because when you turn around and pull down in now, that's what you're gonna see instead of the ball field down to the pool. Looking at it from the great vantage point.
I'll tell you what,
I'm just throwing a picture.
Steve and I have a meeting tomorrow morning. We'll talk about this and we'll set up another committee meeting. And you might just, you would be on it.
Invite you, I'll tell them that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would think the county, or somebody hit the county hard, they would furnish that culvert to be put into the creek.
No, this is that way.
It's owned, and they tried to get it on a couple years ago.
Yeah, but they might know they plastic. Yeah,
So we'll get more information out. Well, we haven't heard from Colleen yet. We haven't heard from Colleen, then we'll take more public comment.
I might get into a little bit more of your questions about some of the funding on that.
and one more thing. I saw your email about it was 35,000, which we need to be at 30, right? We can get it done. You said,
35 is like the threshold for going out competitively.
okay. So with some volunteer help, we can keep that number easily under it. Prep work for slab, everything. I mean,
What kind of building are we talking?
whole building, I believe was discussed, but I think that pavilion idea that I saw was like something you put on a roof from part, the first picture that I saw like in a city.
Yes.
And that looks to me like $100,000 invention, knowing that, because we do these all the time privately, electrical form, excavation form. The pole barn should easily come in under that number with siding. And I know you said pavilion with it all open, but there'll be many times kids can't use that during the summer, be right back up here.
No, the plan is to close when they're done.
Okay, because the original one that was showed was all open like a pavilion for music and all that. But
Yeah,
even
there's
enclosed,
no going in.
my thoughts were even enclosed, the storage would be tremendous in there before the stuff. And also could be used during spring, fall, winter sometime.
Well, evidently, the committee needs to have more discussions.
Okay, I'll shut up.
All right,
I got you.
Exactly.
Colleen.
So I've got a couple of things. Following up on the planning and zoning issues, I also reached out to Ed and jail about some of the things they mentioned at the last town board meeting. And I just tried to summarize what their exact questions were and what we could work on. And I'm having them review that and I'll give it to you if you'd like, so you can start to work on, updating the fees if needed and the escrow law, which was another question I think that Ed and JL have about whether the building department could have escrow in a separate, and separate from the planning board, so.
I thought all the fees were originally given to us by the zoning revisions committee, all the updates. In our recommendation, it wasn't like the town board sat around and said, we need to go up on things.
I don't know who actually did the whole fee structure from
But-
2013 that was adopted in 2013.
It was a town board function, DRC.
No, no, so we got recommendations, though. I know we did.
Not this recent one that was just passed though.
Well, we upped them
No,
2 years
that
ago.
was Park and Ed, I think, that drove that.
No, I mean, the one that was passed in December, were there fees in that?
Yeah, revision. That was Park and Ed that came up with that, I believe.
That was just the same one that we did the previous year.
But it was, nothing was changed.
Yeah.
That's
No, that
the
was-
point I was trying to make.
This year.
But ultimately, we have to
I think
approve these, so. I know it's something that you want to work on, so, and I will share that. with you.
Okay.
that's done. I see you wanted me to talk about grants. So, I created a document, I sent it to you everyone today. Just kind of summarizing active grants that we have that have either been awarded to the town or we're looking into. And so Monica's gonna pick them in a minute, so they will be it will be available to everyone to look at. And I also just kind of put a little bit of a description of what each grant was for and the amounts. I did find out today via email that the, potential solar installation at the highway garage is gonna be decided next week. So we will find out next week whether we have it or
You just
not.
gotta say where you're gonna put it. It's
Right.
nice and neat garage roof.
Right, and so what I did is I structured that so that there's two separate applications, one for engineering and one for implementation. So that if we did the engineering and they said it's a no-go anywhere on the site, we stop there, you know, so that was kind of what my thought in that was, so. So that one I get to know the very timely manner. So the last two that are on this list, are more targeted towards the pavilion and swimming pool. So, the office of Mark Molinaro reached out to us and they're looking to do a community project. Kind of like an RFP for proposals. It's fiscal year 2025. So if we were to apply for that, the funds wouldn't be released or even probably decided until September 2024. And looking to do an actual construction date in 2025. So that may not work for us if we really want to put this in for this season, if we want to do that quickly. The other thought with that is that if we did something of a site plan and worked really hard to get that pavilion or that whole barn in first, are there other things that we might want to think about doing maybe in 2025 that we could apply for? You know, whether we want to put in a bathroom to the pavilion, do we want to pave the, you know, the parking area? So I'm not saying that we may have to actually fund the actual pavilion, but are there things that we can do that we can apply for now to work on the next year? To phase in, that's what I'm thinking with it. So, so that might be something that the committee will want to talk about doing. I'm finding that just because of timing, if we had wanted to pay for that, to be paid for by grant funds, we would have had to have applied for it last year in 2023. But I think it's still a viable option, you know, to really improve that site and make it usable, if that's what we're gonna do. And then, Jim forwarded me a, kind of, it's like a request for information, and they're really just trying to find out information about pools in New York State, because there's an initiative that's called New York Swims. And that's trying to make sure that swimming is accessible and like cooling centers as it gets hotter out, that, you know, kids and adults are trained how to swim to prevent them, which is the theory, I guess, for our whole, you know, swim program since the beginning. So it's kind of a nice fit. And so they're looking to find out what communities have pools. Are they wanting to continue to have pools? And are there major, you know, things that need to happen to the pool to actually continue to make it operational? So I think that's something I probably should talk to the pool committee about, you know, what things you think that the pool could need that would be for, again, fiscal year 2025, but things that we could plan to actually do to the pool facility itself. So I know it's a lot to throw at everyone, but just trying to really think about how to make that the most functional space that we have. The place.
For the pool of money already 15.
Yeah, it's a big,
Yeah.
it's a decent size, pool of money. I'm not saying that we would replace the pool, but I mean, I'm sure that there are things that you want to do with it. That maybe we can get some money to help fund and offset that cost. Even training, I was thinking like if you want to do YSI training. You know, for some of the, the lifeguards or whatever,
They died,
WSI, oh, WSI, so it's like,
I thought you said died.
they said something about diving board there, and I was like, I don't know, not even.
We talked to the insurance.
Doing diving boards, but. I was like, that's a little questionable, but. You like, they have a diving board, but swimming is, we were being very springy, the water is really cool. I mean, that's a period in our house. So that's what I have on grants, and I'm happy to talk to anyone about it, like the nitty gritty about some of things, what things we can do. And my biggest thing when I look at them is I try not to pigeonhole us into one thing. I try to think of it in a broad sense, are there ways that we can take advantage of it in other aspects, so. And then the last thing I have, I've had some interest from a few people that would be interested in reviving the agriculture, either agricultural council that we used to have, or the agricultural committee, I don't know what we want to call them. Yeah, that was back in 2011. It's a group of interested people that would be willing to serve the committee to help get a state perhaps of the ag protection law, like actually look at it, see if there's updates that need to happen. And for a name for it. That would be a really big first start. And also to try to build a community for like young farmers or small farmers that are here in the community, give them resources. So I'm guessing probably would it be a resolution, we would need to reactivate the committee. And then possibly advertise for additional members. There are a few people that we said, I want to be on that committee. But advertise for people to apply and send a letter of interest.
When the event we had here weeks ago, how was everyone interested in farming and they're from up on the side of it?
Yeah,
So there was a big interest in it.
we do have a resilient farming group. And that's the group that was here the couple of weekends ago that completely passed the town hall. So there seems to be an active community out there. And so I thought it might be a nice idea to actually reinvigorate that community. And that's all
So I guess we could do some outreach to
I.
people who wants to be on that, and then they.
Yeah.
That's when people.
Yeah, why don't you get the committee and then we'll approve it.
Okay, and we must have a copy of the original resolution. It's gotta be somewhere. It would have to be in, I don't
I
know,
was on the original committee.
I don't think. I
My
don't think,
father was-
well, we have a member right here that's gonna be joining
No,
us.
you know. My father was on, when he passed, I took his place.
He was, they could. Yeah.
So I would. Very tasty, anyway.
I think you could probably just do a resolution saying it can be active.
That's true.
Yeah. So
It
that,
doesn't even make it complicated.
yeah, I think it should be pretty easy. And then we can maybe put an advertisement out on email lists. Yeah.
We can make that. Make that motion.
You want to make a motion? Okay. So I have the motion to reactivate the agricultural advisory council. To look into that.
Yeah.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Highway superintendent.
Okay, well, to date, we've conducted snow and ice operations on 14 days in January, and it was 1, but now it's 2 in February. I received word the 2 bodies for the Kenworth trucks that were ordered nearly a year ago are supposed to be delivered in March. New plow truck chassis is scheduled to be built in April, so it should be fully equipped and delivered by year's end. We had 3 heavy wind and rain events in January. We had to go around chasing trees, trimming trees along various roads and weather conditions allowed. We've been doing the needed maintenance on trucks, keeping them ready to go. Continue to haul in sand, keep the salt shed well stocked and stock all down. We build them. And you guys all signed the 284 agreement. Any questions on that? Thanks for the year.
Guessing that on the budget. There's no goal right now.
Not really, because I've been working on filling the shed. So it's the salt price increased quite a bit this year. And sand, both the way up, unexpectedly.
What time, at what point in time do we start repairing roads?
Not till April, you're guessing. Because if you go messing around with dirt road too much now, it's quite likely to turn into a quagmire.
So
After the snow and everything is gone and the mud is gone and. Experiences change. I like to call it. Town clerk tax collector. That. Did everybody good night? Thank you.
I just want, I was looking at the balance sheets, and I noticed under the machinery line, it says that there's 63% unexpected or unexpected.
Yeah.
Is that?
We had a big unexpended repair right at the beginning of the year, and I don't agree with that in the numbers. I gotta look at them. Okay,
Yeah, 'cause I figured you'd be like.
I texted you guys calling me a little while ago, so I gotta go. See what we can do. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
What's really gonna do?
We've been about an inch or so.
Already. Anybody heading on the mountain may be better about. Yeah, yeah,
We better go.
unless you want to snow through it up the hill.
Thank you.
So for the month of January, town clerk fees, I collected 230. Most of that was unfortunately death certificates. People needing to lose death certificates. I have collected roughly 2.7 million in taxes. I'm at 82%. My biggest break this year has been the mail service. On it. I received an email late this afternoon. I didn't send it around to you guys just yet, but I can. From the clerk from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. Asking if they could possibly use the Ingram Town Hall for an informal session for one evening. Where they could, people could come in and ask questions of the sheriff, voice concern about tax issues. So sorry, I spoke on your behalf, and I said I didn't think that would be an issue, that you all would agree to that. So we're looking at a few dates. She suggested 2 Wednesday nights. That's not gonna work with sport night. So I'll work with her to come up with a date. It's gonna probably be in March. And they're gonna advertise it as have talking questions with the sheriff's office, and they're gonna bring freshmen and stuff, anybody who wants to come in. And
Okay. In the interest of moving along, since it's snowing. We have to. We have to do a couple of resolutions. One for the town clerk to go to her conference. And one for the zoning building. Building inspector, zoning enforcement officer to go to his conference. Both not to exceed $1,500.
Make the motion.
second,
Motion made, seconded, all in favor? Opposed, so carried. Also, we can do this real quick. So,
no, you're gonna make the line first, you know. Do resolution number 3 first, with the adjustment.
yeah, this one.
Yeah, there's just.
Oh, yes, that's good. Very good. We need to pass a resolution to establish another line item in the budget, which we will, the line item will be 80-20.4 affordable housing fund. We need to create that, so right at the moment, there's no money in the budget anywhere to pay any expenses that come from that, so we need to pass that resolution to create that account.
We'll make that motion.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. All right. Next, let's do this real quick. So we need to do one budget transfer. We've already gone over budget and insurance budget by it's here somewhere.
They just find the funds, so
It's $400 some. Anyway. But we still have more to pay for the year, so I don't know why. Not blaming anybody for that, but anyway, we need to move money, so. I'm asking you to move $1,200 from the unallocated fund balance to account 1910.4, the insurance account. And also. We created the affordable housing fund account, so we need to move. I'm suggesting we move $10,000 from the unallocated fund balance to that balance 80-20.48 at HF.
and the insurance, let me see, sorry. But the insurance he's talking about isn't medical insurance. This was the insurance for property insurance and whatnot. And the ones that haven't been paid yet, we do disability insurance and we pay it quarterly. So we paid 1 quarter so far for this year. So we have 3 more quarters. It's about $400.
Yeah, $30,000 was budgeted. And we've already spent $30,546.32. So.
Yeah, our insurance for the year was actually more than the $30,000 budget.
So that's why I'm going.
Right, that's the trucks, the buildings, the property, the pool.
So it's gonna budget at $30 and we're already on that. Doing it more.
Yeah, $1,200 into that line will get us through the year.
Because everything gets paid.
Right, except for the disability.
So.
I make a motion that we do it to the church.
Second.
I was like,
Motion made, seconded, all in favor? Aye, opposed, so carried. So we can sign that now. Right now, let me make a motion. That we enter into executive session for to discuss current litigation that we need to discuss with our attorney.
I'll make a motion. Did I make a motion? Okay.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. The only other business we're gonna have when we come back is to approve the warrant and pay the bills, so it's up to you whether you want to sit here. If nobody stays, I'm gonna leave Bill, I'm gonna go home too. I'm like. Night on.
See, Donna, how are you?
Okay, done. Just make sure that little part. Stop my mother off.
Thank you.
I'm Right, I could. Yeah.
Right.
I make a motion to settle this one.
I don't want to go back into the meeting. Motion and executive session back into business.
Okay, so I make a motion to end the executive session where we did not. There was a way you did it. Where no decision. was made, Where we discussed litigation. I make a motion to end executive session where location was discussed. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
I make a motion to settle the current litigation.
Motion made and seconded.
With the resolution.
Well, you have.
Tomorrow, you didn't seem to put that one
You're
in.
Everybody's got the one.
resolution. You're passing, so it's a motion to pass the resolution, and then you do a roll. Call. I think you.
Yes.
My
Yeah, that's right, we have to do a roll call. Sorry.
Okay, so motion to the second, if we do them.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not you. Okay, roll call vote. So Colleen, I, yes, Amy, Bonnie,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
No one else says, if no one has anything else, all you do is approve.
Anybody have a move?
Approve the budget adjustments and and pay the bills. So moved. Motion made, seconded, all in favor? Opposed? So carried. Thank you very much, everyone. We're getting there. All you do, so.
motion to adjourn.
Hey,
That is it.
well, we're good.
Yeah.